Have you ever caught yourself talking to yourself, when nobody else was around? You're looking for your phone. You can't find it. And suddenly you hear yourself say, "Where did I put this thing?" Or you're getting ready to leave the house and say, "Okay, wallet, keys, phone." Nobody asked you to say it. Nobody is listening. You just said it. And sometimes it goes even further. You have a conversation with yourself. You argue with yourself. You explain something to yourself. You practice what you're going to say to someone. You even get mad at yourself. And then, for a second, you stop and think, why the hell am I talking to myself? Here's the strange part. Almost everyone does it. But most people don't really stop to think about why. And psychology has a pretty interesting answer. Because sometimes, you're not actually talking to yourself. You're trying to understand yourself. Think about the last time something bothered you. Maybe somebody said something that didn't sit right with you. You walked away. You went home. And hours later, you're still thinking about it. Then suddenly you start talking. Maybe they didn't mean it like that. No, but why would they say it that way? Maybe I overreacted. Wait, maybe I should have said this instead. Now you're alone in your room, having a conversation that the other person isn't even part of. But you're not crazy. You're trying to make sense of something that doesn't feel finished. That's one of the most interesting things about self-talk. Sometimes your brain doesn't want an answer from somebody else. It wants clarity. And speaking your thoughts out loud can make them feel easier to understand. A thought inside your head can be messy. 5 different ideas can exist at the same time. But when you say one of them out loud, you have to actually choose the words. And suddenly the thought becomes clearer. That's why you'll sometimes hear yourself say, "Okay, what am I actually upset about?" That question wasn't for anyone else. It was for you. But there's another reason we talk to ourselves. We use ourselves as a second opinion. Think about making a decision. You have 2 choices. Your mind goes back and forth. Should I do it? But what if it doesn't work? Yeah, but what if it does? Maybe I should just wait. And suddenly, you're basically sitting there arguing with yourself. One part of you wants something. Another part is trying to protect you from making a mistake. So you give both sides a voice. And that's something people do all the time. You might even say, "Come on, be realistic." Or, "Stop overthinking it." Or, "Just do it." You're not really speaking to another person. You're creating a conversation between different thoughts, feelings, and possibilities inside your own mind. And sometimes, that conversation helps you make a decision. But here's where self-talk gets really interesting. Because sometimes, you don't talk to yourself to figure something out. You talk to yourself because you need encouragement. Imagine you're about to do something uncomfortable. A job interview. A presentation. A difficult conversation. Walking into a gym for the first time. You might quietly tell yourself, "Relax. You've got this. Just breathe. Don't screw this up." Nobody else is giving you that speech. You're giving it to yourself. And that's important. Because your mind doesn't only respond to what other people say to you. It also responds to the way you speak to yourself. Think about 2 people making the exact same mistake. One says, "I'm such an idiot." The other says, "Okay. That didn't go well. Let's figure it out." Same mistake. Different conversation. Different emotional experience. That's why self-talk can quietly shape the way you deal with everyday life. And sometimes, our self-talk becomes something darker. You make one small mistake. And instead of moving on, your mind starts attacking you. "You always do this. Why can't you get anything right? Everyone else has it together." And suddenly, you're not solving the problem anymore. You're making yourself feel worse. This is where psychology gives us something worth thinking about. The way you talk to yourself can become a habit. If every mistake is followed by self-criticism, your brain can start taking that route automatically. Something goes wrong. You blame yourself. Something else goes wrong. You blame yourself again. Eventually, you don't even notice you're doing it. It just sounds like your normal inner voice. And that's the dangerous part. Because when you've heard a voice long enough, you stop questioning it.